Thank you for joining us here at Tax, the platform where we try to demystify the sometimes confusing world of international tax. And today we have the honor and the privilege of two very distinguished guests to help us understand international tax for Brazil. And that's Pilar and Rodrigo. Would you guys like to introduce yourself? Ladies first, Pilar.
Oh, hello, everyone. Really nice to be here. I'm a Brazilian tax advisor. I'm also an academic, and I've been working at HHP, that's a Dutch law firm with international cases. I think that's the main thing.
Fantastic. And Rodrigo.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rodrigo. Thanks, Darren, for the invitation to be here. I'm a tax lawyer in Brazil. I'm a tax partner at Mota Fernandes. We are a law firm based in Rio, São Paulo, and Brasilia, the capital of Brazil. I'm also a tax professor here in Brazil. I teach tax law at the court here in Rio de Janeiro. We have a law school at the court, so I teach tax law for those who want to be judges here in Brazil. So basically, I have this experience acting as a tax lawyer and also as a tax professor here.
Fantastic. Could you give an example where someone or a pretend business is tax resident in Brazil but not tax domiciled, or vice versa? So just so we can understand. Just a random example.
The example I give is not about be taxed or not be taxed. It's how you are taxed. I can explain for you. In this law for small business, you have many benefits. And that discussion we had about different VATs. The different VATs, they are kind of agglutinated. They are treated as one, as other countries do, let's say like that. I'm simplifying a little bit. And then the small business, they have this simplified system to be taxed. Other companies that are outside this system, they have to pay the different VATs, they have to pay, and so they have to deal with a more complex and hard to follow about compliance system. So everyone is taxed, but in different ways. But to be benefited from the small business system, you cannot have a partner domiciled abroad. The idea is to benefit only companies that have partners living in Brazil. I think that's the difference you asked me. So everyone is taxed, but in different ways about related where the partners are living.
Okay. And just in case anyone is listening or watching this, from the US side, VAT is value-added tax. So it's kind of like sales and use tax in the US, just to kind of provide a comparison. So going back to the difference between domicile, and tax residence, it applies to entities, not human beings. Or it can apply to both.
Basically, it's a concept that the difference can be applied to both. But it's more common, at least in my experience, it's more common to see discussions regarding this situation when we are talking about individuals related to business in Brazil. Basically, this situation, because
could you give an example?
For example, when you have, as Pilar said, I think the example Pilar brought to us it's perfect. Sometimes you have some systems in Brazil that are simplified systems in Brazil, but you have to comply with some requirements to be taxed under this simplified system. So, and one of those requirements is related to the domicile of your partners, not the tax residence of your partners. So basically, it's not a matter, I totally agree with Pilar, it's not a matter if you will be taxed or not taxed. It's regarding how you will be taxed. And basically to take advantage of some benefits in Brazil.
I can give another example. I had a client that he was a farmer. He had a farm and he had cows there and animals there. And his business in Brazil was that, his farm. But he was living abroad. Okay, so his business, no doubt, it was in Brazil.
Mhm.
but at the same time, he was living in another Latin American country.
Mhm.
And you have a different way of taxing the income derived from your activities as a farmer, if you are a resident or if you are not a resident.
Mhm.
In this case, it was only he was not he was only an individual, okay?
Mhm.
But you can have other examples when you're dealing also with companies. But usually, companies that are doing business in Brazil, they will be based in Brazil, not because of tax law, but because of our commercial law. So it's kind of hard to have business, big business, not small business, but big business in Brazil without having a legal entity in Brazil.
So going back to that farmer, is there any aspect of that small case where he or there was an entity that was not domiciled? Or was it that it was just purely a tax residence discussion, not a domicile one?
Actually, the discussion was if he was resident in Brazil.
Not domicile.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
why? Because he had his center of vital interest in Brazil. What could be a problem? When you are complying and doing your paperwork about taxation in Brazil, you put what you consider your domicile. As I said, in our national tax code, you have a rule that you can elect your tax domicile. So you can put it online nowadays, or you can put a house or another house, and etc. And then the tax authorities sent a letter for you. Okay, you owe me money, and you are not living anymore in that tax domicile that you elected. That can be a problem because tax authorities, you presume that you receive their communications when they send it to your tax domicile.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.